Alright, how's it going, everybody? So today it looks like we're going to be doing one of the foundational documents that are for for AP US Gov, and that's the Declaration of Independence. I mean, you should know most stuff about this, but like just the basic stuff about it. But I'm going to go in depth at how you can use this on the argumentative essay, on how you can use this in the multiple choice, the ideas that you're going to need to use. But yeah, all the important stuff. This is basically all you need to know with regards to the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so why was this written? Because fuck King George III. Everybody hated King George III. It was oppression. You know, the colonies were getting taxed without the people's consent. Dude, it was terrible. So the American people wanted to make it official, so that the colonies are separating from Great Britain. They're like, hey, we don't want you guys here anymore. They fought against the British for God knows how long just to achieve this. So they're like, get the hell out of our land. So on the AP exam, right here, this document is all usually referred to as a list of grievances. So if there's like an MCQ, I'm pretty sure on my test there was like some MCQ about the Declaration of Independence. It's like what it's best characterized as, and it was one of the answer choices, probably the best answer. I think in this case was list of grievances, which is what I put. This document is a list of grievances against King George III. Because they didn't like him. They fucking hated him. Alright, so what Unit 1 ideas does this relate to? And this probably correlates with Unit 1.1, video 1.1, that'll be in the Unit 1 playlist. But yeah, let's just see, what ideas does this connect to? So the first one is natural rights. So the Declaration is like all men are created equal. So we all naturally, as human beings, have rights that are given to us. So yeah, we're born with it. So that's what the Declaration of Independence argues, is that we have rights that we are born with, and this is essentially meaning no tyranny. Don't tyrannize us on these rights, because these are rights that are given to us at birth, and the government cannot interfere with these rights. Actually, well, you'll probably get into that in like Unit 3, but for the most part, you can't interfere with those rights. Alright, so popular sovereignty. So the definition of this is the power of the government belongs to the people. So you can't really have a government if you're pissing your people off, unless you're a fascist or communist dictatorship in which, you don't care what your people say. It's just controlled by the government. But we're talking strictly about America right now, okay? So this is evident. The idea of popular sovereignty is evident because the Declaration essentially says if a government's being shit, if they're just terrible, then the people can overthrow it. If they're not protecting your rights, then the people can overthrow the government. So this is where the phrase consent of the governed comes from. That's where you see this term all the time, is that the government can't run without the consent of the people. Alright, and then we have social contract. So the social contract this is kind of like a loose definition, but government exists because people give up their power to the government in exchange for security. So, but the government has to protect these natural rights in order for this, social contract to be upheld. So people willingly give up their power for the government to give them security. So this is pretty important too. You gotta know that this idea is made by John Locke. I can guarantee you on the AP test, there's gonna be like one John Locke question saying, "Oh, whose Enlightenment ideas influenced the Declaration of Independence?" It's gonna be John Locke. You'll find like a couple of them are probably going to be like Montesquieu, but I think we discussed those in previous Unit 1 videos. So, if the government sucks ass at protecting the people, then the people have the right to go and overthrow that government. Well, we talked about that earlier, right? So that's kind of how this relates to the Declaration. And this is probably the most important concept. They will 100% test you on either the term social contract or the fact that it was made by John Locke. Alright, so when should I use this document on the argumentative essay section of the AP test? So you got to use it when you're arguing for a balance of government power and individual rights. You're saying, okay, there has to be a balance. We can't make it so the government is interfering on our civil liberties, but we can't have it so, the individuals are completely taking over government. The individuals have influence over government, but they shouldn't have control. So, in simple terms, fuck the government. We want freedom. Government, stay out of our lives. We the people, yada, yada, yada. So this could go either way. You can use this arguing for the federal government, or you could use it arguing for individual rights. It really depends, the prompt. So in this case, we're going to show you a sample prompt. So this is from the 2023 Set 1 FRQ that you can find on the AP website. So I'd highly recommend you go check that out, because that has some pretty useful resources that you can use. So here's the prompt. Let's go through it together. Let's break it down. The federal government and states each play an important role in public education. Take a position on whether the federal government or the states are more effective in ensuring educational opportunities for all students. So you're either siding with the government or you're siding with the states. But you can use the Declaration of Independence here to argue for the students. You're talking about the students here. So you can sneak in an argument about, okay, you got to defend people from tyranny, and in this case, this isn't my personal opinion, but I'm just saying this as something you could use. Tyranny in the case of the federal government could be establishing a certain ideology. Say, okay, you guys have to establish this, and we have to universally teach it across the entire country. And they're telling the federal government is essentially controlling education. They have more power over all the states, and that could be seen as tyranny. And okay, in an individual sense, so say that the federal government says, okay, we all have to teach our classes that Christianity is the best religion ever, right? That's like a clear violation of the First Amendment. It's the Establishment Clause, which we'll get into. It's part of the Bill of Rights, so that the federal government cannot establish a single religion. They can't establish a religion, so that's in violation of your Bill of Rights, of your civil liberties, technically. So you could say that as a hypothetical when you're writing the essay. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. I know I'm just getting started on this, kind of new to it. I know I stutter a lot, but I really hope this helped you guys understand the Declaration of Independence a little more. Please remember to subscribe, comment, and like. That helps support me. I mean, you don't really have to like it. I don't really like videos either unless I have to go back to them later. But in the description, there's a folder with a worksheet and a copy of the Declaration of Independence. You guys can use it however the hell you want, but that's just there if you guys need more practice with it. So yeah, thank you.